Hey guys, this is Danny, and let me tell you when I decided to make the biggest decision of my life. I remember whenever I proposed, and all my fellas know that whenever you're about to propose, a whole bunch of things come into your mind. I mean, you get so scared. Am I really going to do this? Is this the one? I mean, I was so scared. But let me tell you a little bit about the story, the background of this whole entire engagement. So, I was a leader and I decided to take my group on a vacation, right? On a retreat, right? Come on. So then what I decided to do, I was like, you know what? We're going to take a retreat. We're going to go to the beach and we're going to be there for the weekend. So everything worked out fine. We decided to take the trip. But here's the big but. And it's not what you're thinking. Here's the big but. Everyone thought we were going to this retreat to build our character, to do this team building type of thing. But in reality, I was going to propose. Now, me, I like to show my romantic side, but I don't like to show it to everybody. Come on, guys. You guys know how it feels. Now, I didn't want to show it to everyone, so I was like, you know what? I'm going to propose. This is what I want to do. This is how I've always envisioned it. Now, to all my ladies, how many of you have seen Titanic? Yes? It's a good movie, by the way. At the end, man, so good. But anyways, whenever I was thinking about proposing, I've always wanted to do it on a sailboat. Not only that, but I also wanted to do it whenever it was sunsetting. Whenever it was sunset. So I started making all these plans of how I was going to propose. It had to be the perfect day, the perfect timing, the perfect music, the perfect captain. So I finally found the person to help me out. And I called the guy and I was like, hey, I'm going to propose. This is what I want to do. And the guy was like, are you really going to propose? And I was like, well, what do you mean? And he was like, yeah, a lot of people that I know said they're going to propose and last minute they don't do it. So are you really going to propose? And I was like, bro, come on, man. I'm driving all the way from Texas all the way to where you're at. And he was like, okay, well, we'll see. I was like, all right. So the day that I proposed, I was so scared. I could not sleep. I was so scared. So finally, we get to the place and it's just me and her. We get to the sailboat during sunset. Come on, somebody. That's really romantic. Now, we went off, right? And then all of a sudden, this was like the sprinkles on top of everything. We saw some dolphins, right? Beside the sailboat. Sunset, perfect weather. I mean, it was just beautiful. Right before I was about to propose, a lot of things came into mind. I started doubting. I was so scared because, man, it was like, are you really going to do this? Are you really going to commit to this? And at that moment, I decided to go for it. And right whenever I was thinking, am I really going to do this? I looked back at the captain and the captain was like, you're going to back out, aren't you? You're going to back out? And I looked at him and I was like, no. I'm going to do this. I'm ready for this. I'm ready for a change. So then I get down on one knee and I say, will you marry me? That's all I could say. I was so emotional that I had this whole entire speech ready. I mean, it was going to be epic, but all I could say is, will you marry me? Will you marry me? Right? So whenever I say that, she turns around and she's like, oh my goodness, are you serious? And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, woman, I have one knee on the floor, I have a ring here, and I'm worried that I'm going to drop it. Of course I'm serious, right? So she's like, oh my goodness, yes! And that was one of the greatest moments of our lives. And I just want to encourage you today. Maybe you're at a point in your life where you're at a crossroad. you have this big decision to make and you don't know what to do. Maybe you have doubts. Maybe you're scared. Maybe you have this fear of not knowing what the future has in store for you. But let me tell you something. Just get out there and do it. Take that extra step. Get out there. Get out of your comfort zone. Maybe you're at a point right now where you need a change in your life. Maybe a change in your job. Maybe a change in the environment that you're constantly in. But get out there. Go for it. I know that the future probably scares you. It scared me whenever I was like, am I really going to do this? Am I really going to propose? I was scared. Maybe your situation is probably different than mine, but let me tell you something. Once I made the decision to go for it, it changed my life completely. Not only that, but it made it better. And it made my life better. I realized that where I'm at now is better. And I'm here to tell you to get out there and do it, because after you take that step, once you get out of your comfort zone, everything is going to be better.